This is NBC 12 on your side at 6.
A live look outside our South Richmond studios now. Rain will be arriving overnight for much of the viewing area, but some of you may see some freezing rain in the morning.
Portions of the area will soon be under a winter weather advisory. Schools in Prince Edward County have already announced they are on a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. Meteorologist Jim Duncan has the first alert to what we should expect over the next few hours.
Yeah, for us, quiet evening. If you're going out shopping tonight, get that shopping done. If you wait till this weekend, I have a feeling it's going to get really crowded this weekend. Anyway, we have temperatures in the mid-30s now. The problem is it's cold now, and it's going to get a little colder later tonight. The good news is this reading has not dropped any from an hour ago at the airport, so hopefully maybe we'll end up staying above the freezing point here in Richmond. The clouds have already started to increase over the area, but we're watching the rain, and there's some freezing rain North Georgia here down to the south, and that is what's going to sweep across western Virginia later tonight. For us, it'll be mainly rain tomorrow, but the winter weather advisory goes from midnight tonight through Friday for these western Piedmont counties, including Buckingham and Appomattox and Albemarle, Nelson counties, all of these areas into the mountains in Shenandoah Valley. There could be a brief period of snow late tonight at the onset, but it's mainly some freezing rain that would be the risk out here into early tomorrow morning, and temperatures would be below freezing. So possibility of some icing out here on the trees and such, power lines, roadways. For us, most of the precipitation is starting tomorrow morning, so it's mostly rain, liquid rain. Here is the time frame of greatest risk to the west, 3 a.m. to 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, even though the advisory goes through the day tomorrow. So again, traveling out here early tomorrow, late tonight, be aware after 3 a.m. it could get rather icy in those counties to the west. I'll have your full forecast for all of the area for the weekend ahead coming up in a few minutes.
Doggy. Doggy.
A stranger takes control of a home security system and uses it to spy on a Chesterfield family and even talks to the family pet. A chilling video was shot just 2 days ago.
And there are similar reports of Ring security cameras being hacked, popping up all across the country. We're on your side tonight with live team coverage. Diane Walker is on your side with advice to keep your home security system from being hacked.
But we begin tonight with Enzo Domingo, who has more on that chilling video out of Chesterfield.
That's right, guys. That woman told us that initially that hacker would activate the app's sirens, and at first she thought it was a glitch. It wasn't until the next day in the dead silence of her home when she heard somebody calling out to her dog, and then she realized that a stranger was behind it all.
Doggy.
This dog on the couch had no idea who was calling. The dog's owner in the kitchen still has no idea.
Very, very strange. Even the voice of the person was very bizarre.
A Midlothian woman shared this Ring camera video with us after a hacker managed to take over her device. She did not want to be identified. She said she first noticed something was amiss Tuesday night when she says the Ring app's sirens kept going off. It wasn't until Wednesday afternoon when this happened.
Doggy.
The homeowner later discovered the hacker had accessed the live camera over 10 times and even spoke to her 6-year-old daughter.
I thought about, moving out and from my regular system and getting a Ring or one of those kind of doorbell devices, but yeah, it kind of makes me a little hesitant now to see that video.
Ring said in a statement that they are investigating these issues and taking the steps to protect these devices. They add that these cases are not related to a breach of Ring's corporate security system. Similar cases like these have popped up around the country, like in Florida.
Can you bring like a web browser up on your phone and then type in the website that I tell you?
No. Like everything else can be hacked, now they can hack your door camera. So I wonder if there's anything you can do.
The Chesterfield woman says she's not taking chances and she removed that camera from the living room.
Doggy.
Now, I did check in with police in Chesterfield, Henrico, and Richmond, and all three tell me that at the moment they've not had any reports of any hacked home security devices. In the meantime, we are live out here in Chesterfield County. This is Enzo Domingo, NBC 12.
Thanks, Enzo. And perhaps the most chilling of these incidents is one where you can hear a hacker taunting an 8-year-old girl.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
Mommy!
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
The question now is, how vulnerable is your home to hackers? Tonight, a cybersecurity expert explains how easy it is for hackers to take control if you're not careful.
Diane Walker is in the studio with us with a warning tonight. Diane?
Guys, it is also scary. In a statement from a Ring spokesperson, this incident is in no way related to a breach or compromise of its security. But one ethical hacker claims security of these consumer-grade cameras has been a known problem for a while.
It is very disturbing.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
We get a lot of convenience from having these devices, but the trade-off is security.
Jeff Horton makes a living protecting clients from cyber criminals trying to breach their security systems. His job is to stop it from ever happening. The first step, he says, a strong password, followed by a secured network. Horton says hackers prey on weak password security to gain access to parents' Ring accounts.
Unfortunately, with most consumer-grade devices, they put very little effort into security. And that's a known problem. It's getting better.
And without proper security protection, Horton says finding vulnerable cameras is easy.
This is primarily a site for people who do legitimate security work.
But with the right search terms, hackers can use websites like this one with nefarious intentions. Ring suggests to his customers to use the two-factor authentication, advice echoed by Horton, who says use it on any device or website when offered, to add another barrier to keep hackers out of your devices and home.
So I can get into one device and then use that as kind of a launch point to get access to other devices.
I don't know who you are.
I'm Santa Claus.
Doggy. Doggy.
And here again, if you have a Ring account, two-factor authentication is a good idea. Also consider other security measures, including setting your Wi-Fi so it's not visible to others. On your side, Diane Walker, NBC 12.
All good advice. Thanks, Diane. Has your home security camera been hacked? If so, call 12. Our volunteers want to hear from you. They'll also listen to any of your consumer complaints and story ideas. This is the last time our Call 12 lines will be open for the year. So call now. You know the number, 345-1212.
Well, this man is behind bars in Hopewell tonight after police say he broke into a home and then barricaded himself inside the attic. Now, police say 24-year-old Robin Franklin broke into a home on Warsaw Avenue this afternoon. The homeowner got an alert from their surveillance system and called police. When officers arrived, Franklin barricaded himself in the attic. Now, police say he surrendered when the officers threatened to stick their canine on them.
Now to Henrico, where a family says a young man's heroism cost him his life. Police say 22-year-old Connor Engelhardt was shot and killed in Verina early this morning. His family says he was shielding his twin brother when, according to police, 34-year-old Robert Thorpe Jr. opened fire. Tonight on your side at 6, Henrico reporter Karina Bolster with more on the arrest and what the victim's family is saying about this. Karina.
Well, Kurt, the family is certainly upset and angry. While they're trying to process the events that happened, they can't help but think about what Connor did in his final moments.
Connor was the oldest twin. He was always the one to protect.
Connor was running away, like running out of the house, and Cameron was coming up the steps, and Connor was probably surprised to see him. And
said that he stood up. That's what Cameron said, that he stood up right in front of him and blocked his body.
Yeah.
Kenzie Taylor says Connor's final act is what saved the life of his twin Cameron.
He was shot 5 times, and Connor actually pretty much gave his life for Cameron.
Cameron was taken to the hospital and later released. Now he and his sister are having to come to grips with losing their brother.
I don't really know what else to say. I know that Cameron's going to take it much harder than me.
Henrico police say they got a 911 hang-up call from the home on Wilton Road around 3:45 Thursday morning. As officers headed to the scene, dispatchers told them they had an open phone line and could hear yelling and possibly shots being fired. Police found Connor dead on the porch. Robert Thorpe was arrested shortly after.
Cameron told me that he was up here, I think the police found him on the road.
According to police, they responded to the home 14 times in the last 3 years for a variety of calls. Kenzie says Connor lived in the home with his mother, who was apparently dating Thorpe.
He's come in and put a damper on just about everybody.
As investigators continue to work on the case, Kenzie says she's focused on moving forward with her own family.
I don't really even like the holidays because of all of the loss, but I was trying to get into the spirit. But I have a son, so that's what's going to keep me grounded.
Now, at this point, investigators have not said what may have led up to the shooting, but Kenzie says Connor was asleep before the shooting happened. Live and on your side in Henrico, Karina Bolster, NBC 12 News.
Thanks so much, Karina. Well, no arrest yet following 2 fatal shootings in Petersburg last night. The killings broke the city's record for most homicides in 1 year. Now, police say one man was found shot in the middle of Cherry Street. He died at the hospital. A second shooting victim was later found in a hallway at Summit Point Apartments. He too died in the hospital. The victims' names have not yet been released. Well, an update now out of Charlottesville. The man convicted of killing Heather Heyer says he will appeal his state court convictions. James Fields Jr. was sentenced to life in prison plus 419 years in Charlottesville Circuit Court in June. He killed Heyer when he drove his car into a crowd of counter-protesters during the 2017 Unite the Right rally. Fields' state appeal likely won't matter because he was already sentenced to life in prison on federal charges.
And new at 6, Charlottesville police no longer driving Dodge Challengers. The city worked to replace those cars after Fields used one in the attack. Police say the community then raised questions about officers driving the same model. The last Challenger has been taken off the road and will be liquidated by June.
Undercooked chicken, raw meat over vegetables, kitchens that smell like cigarettes. Coming up, wait until you see what we uncovered in this week's restaurant report. Plus, a warning if you're looking to add a furry addition to your family. What starts with a cute face like this one could end up with you getting scammed out of both the puppy and the cash.
But first, we have an update on that Richmond couple burned after a volcanic eruption in New Zealand. Some good news on their conditions, plus hear from a man who helped save their lives. Jim.
And talking temperatures approaching freezing in many spots. The West End Collegiate School 33, same story Mechanicsville, at Chickahominy Middle 31 at Bird Elementary in Goochland. We'll see how things time out with the rain and freezing rain over parts of Virginia coming up in your full forecast.
Tonight, the families of a Richmond couple are by their side in a New Zealand hospital. The good news is both newlyweds are expected to recover from serious burns following a volcanic eruption. An update coming from a family friend of Lauren and Matthew Uri. The two were in New Zealand for their honeymoon. They were coming down from the volcano when it started to erupt. Lauren and Matt were able to take some shelter behind large rocks. And for the first time, we're hearing from another tourist who cared for them afterwards.
I remember I asked her a name and she struggled to say it, but he said it for her. He said, "She's my wife," and she would ask, "How's my husband?" and he would ask, "How's my wife?"
Now, both Lauren and Matt have to undergo more surgeries. Friends have set up an online fundraiser to help them with medical expenses. You can find a link on the NBC 12 News app. More than $18,000 has been raised so far.
A Midlothian hospital gets the green light to care for more patients. The state approved a $119 million expansion for Bon Secours St. Francis Medical Center. Plans call for 2 new 2-story additions, along with renovations to the existing facility and expanding parking. St. Francis will have 185 beds when construction is complete. Bon Secours did not say when the work would begin.
Governor Northam pushing for free community college for low and middle income students who pursue degrees in high demand fields. Today, the governor announced his budget proposal includes $145 million for his G3 initiative. It stands for Get Skilled, Get a Job, Give Back. The General Assembly will consider the proposal when it convenes January 8th.
Well, it may be one of the best gifts to ever get under the Christmas tree, a little 4-legged friend. But on your side, investigator Rachel DePompa has a warning for anyone thinking of giving a puppy as a present.
37,000 people a year fall victim to international puppy scams, according to the Federal Trade Commission, paying as much as $1,000 for dogs they'll never see. And the BBB in Western Virginia even alerted folks to 2 online sites, MaltesePuppiesHeaven.com and HomeTrainedPugPups.com. Both registered owners are actually in Johannesburg, South Africa, and police believe you will not get a dog from these sites. Just Googling puppies for sale is a bad idea if you don't check up on the companies trying to make the sale. Barry Moore, the CEO and president of the BBB of Central Virginia, says Just because a company is listed on Google doesn't mean it's reputable. Google is just a search engine. You have to do your research.
Now, some of these businesses are very legitimate, but many of them aren't. And if they start asking for too much personal information up front, and they ask for deposits and then fees and so forth, this is a bogus company, and it's probably a scam.
Barry says never pay up front. Make sure you meet the puppies in person and meet the person who is selling them. You can also always log on to the BBB Scam Tracker on their website. It tells you about scams going around now, and you'll notice puppy scams are everywhere. Be careful before you pay money. For the On Your Side investigators, Rachel DePompa, NBC 12 News.
Accurate, reliable, breaking weather specialists. This is NBC 12 First Alert Weather.
Right now in Richmond, the clouds have kind of crept in a little bit. We have partly cloudy skies, 35. Our temperature just kind of stuck now. We saw a quick drop after sunset. Fingers crossed, maybe we're not going to dip much below freezing tonight here in Richmond, but it is already 28 in Petersburg, 27 in Louisa. Those locales typically do get quite a bit colder very quickly early in the evening. So I think we will see temperatures near freezing many areas tonight. That's why we have the winter weather advisory to the west, because watching this area of mainly rain down here over the deep south and the southeastern United States, and in the higher elevations, the hints of a little freezing rain out there in southwest North Carolina. But as this moves to the north tonight, it will encounter the colder air over especially the western Piedmont, because you'll get the precipitation sooner out there. And the advisory actually goes from midnight tonight through all the day tomorrow, but the main focus time period I think will be late tonight through tomorrow morning, where there'll be a period of freezing rain that could cause icing issues out here on trees, maybe power lines, maybe roadways, elevated surfaces, bridges and such especially. But for our part of central and eastern Virginia, mainly just rain, and that would be during the day tomorrow. Now for your evening, temperatures are expected to fall to around 31 degrees by mid-evening and then just kind of stay there and maybe go up a touch overnight. We'll have increasing cloudiness here in Richmond. And then tomorrow, 40% rain chance early, but it goes up to 60% late morning, then 70 to 80% as we go through the day. Temperatures gradually working up to around 40. It's going to be cold. So early, I'm not expecting much precipitation here in Richmond. After 9 a.m., that's when chances go up. And then tomorrow night, near 100% chance. Next big thing weather-wise for us is tracking that precipitation. This is a high-resolution computer model from NOAA, the National Weather Service, late tonight, showing hints of some freezing rain out here in the western Piedmont after 2 a.m. mainly. Nothing widespread on this model guidance, but I think there will be a lot of, at least some icing issues happening out there by early tomorrow morning by sunrise. For Richmond, could be some freezing drizzle or drizzle early, but the main rain for us probably well after sunrise tomorrow, and that's what this model guidance shows. A big slug of rain coming through, and especially tomorrow night. And it looks like it could move out of here by early Saturday. So there's hope that Saturday, after some early showers, we'll see some sunshine. And then the next storm Monday and Tuesday. A lot more news ahead.
A burger joint and a Thai spot in Henrico both need a little help after recent visits from the health inspector.
On Your Side investigator Olivia Eugenio has tonight's restaurant report.
First up, Chedar Thai. You can find it on West Broad Street in Henrico. In its last inspection, the restaurant had 4 priority, 5 priority foundation, and 7 core violations, which includes partially cooked chicken in the prep unit, as well as raw meat stored over vegetables. I called the restaurant and spoke with the manager. He said they rearranged the walk-in unit, and as for the partially cooked chicken, he said they don't do that anymore. Next, to Knockout Burgers and Philly Steak. It's located in the South Park Mall. In its last inspection, the restaurant had 2 priority, 3 priority foundation, and 5 core violations. An inspector found several items in refrigerators and freezers uncovered, baked potatoes more than a week old in the fridge, as well as a strong odor of cigarettes in the space. I tried the number for Knockout on South Park Mall's website, and it wasn't in service, so I called the mall asking for more information. They said that's the only number they have. I then tried the phone number listed on Grubhub for the restaurant multiple times. It rang off the hook with no answer. If you're looking to read full copies of the reports, head to our website, NBC12.com. For the On Your Side investigators, Olivia Eugenio, NBC 12 News.
And we're back in just a moment.
One of the Washington Nationals' best players is headed to a new team. Sadly, Anthony Rendon, not sad for him, just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with the Los Angeles Angels. The third baseman has played his entire career with the Nats and helped them win the World Series. He's expected to be introduced at Angel Stadium on Saturday. He's getting $35 million a year.
Good luck to him. That's it for 6. We'll see you at 11.